that is one of the best things I learned. Like, really, they say it, but until you really understand how to fight on paper, bro, because they tell you all the power is in the pen. Like, I'm third-degry black belt. I have a world record in breaking bricks. I'm much stronger on paper, fam.
Hey, nigga be printing up them papers feeling like God.
Like, yeah, I got them.
Turn that printer on.
Like, barbecue, boy. Barbecue.
Oh, God, bro. No, for real. Like, everything that niggas hate in life, like, why am I working this job? Why do I have to do this? Learn the law. Go read the UCC. Go read the Uniform Commercial Code. If you feel like, why am I working a job? Why am I paying for shit? Go read the Uniform Commercial Code.
I can tell you 2 laws that should change your perspective on life really quick. Well, actually, court case, what Murdoch versus Penn, somebody just shared it on Facebook. Great court case. It literally says that you cannot convert a right into a privilege and attach a fee to it. So that includes paying for a driver's license. That includes paying for a firearms license. This is a court ruling. On top of, constitutionally, child support is illegal if you understand the United States Constitution, because the Social Security Administration operates as a whole separate entity, which violates the separation of powers, being the legislative, judicial, and executive branch. You should have paid attention in civics. God damn it, English class. For real, because elementary was imperative, so was middle school. Like, they really gave you the game and you just overlooked it, even when it came to economics and how you do commerce. And what was the other one? It was Murdoch versus Penn. Oh, and the United States assumes the responsibility for all debts. So,
and HJR Resolution 192, Public Law 73-10, boy.
It's not, this is all documented black and white things that I know people who leverage on an everyday basis. I know people, and he knows some of the same people. I've introduced them to their platforms who literally do not pay anything out of their pockets in order to handle their bills every month. Through understanding how the United States Treasury works, negotiable instruments, couponing, and just reading a payment agreement. Because it say in the payment agreement, you got to send in the coupon. So it's like, don't argue with me, argue with the paper, fam.
No.
Argue with the paper.
For real.
Press one. That's one, baby.
Peace, everyone. I have a special episode today. First off, welcome back to another episode of Trust Fund Baby Podcast. I am your host, DJ Bey, also known as Official Trust Fund Baby. And I have a special guest here, like somebody from the crib on top of. Shout out to In My Place. We back in Michigan, right up the street from the house. I'm so thankful to find some good brothers out here doing business. And if y'all in the area, please look them up. I'm gonna make sure I leave a link in the tag so that y'all can tap into the space so y'all can use it too. So, got a special guest here today.
Yes,
Mr.
sir.
Double R.
What's the word, brother?
What's good, bro? People don't even know.
Man.
We used to pass each other like, I swear, we've known each other at least for like 10 years, just like in past, just like being at the Inkster Rec.
Man, no cap. No,
Like,
for real.
I'm seeing you up there. You've been with your girl since back then. I've been with mine since back then.
Man.
And she was teaching dance. We all was in there. You've been rapping the entire time. So, you got a few things going on. So, first off, please introduce yourself to the people. Let them know who you are, what it is you do.
What's the word, y'all? It's Double R the God tapping in with y'all, man. I rap, produce, engineer, teach. I just wrote a book, Just Waking Up, the Spiritual God book. That's this right here. My journey started off with music at about...
Hey, this shit thick.
Yeah.
I done wrote books, but I don't even know my books. I got like 17 books. Ain't none of them is this damn thick, bro. You put some time into this shit.
No facts.
And it's like, he put some time into this. I want to for sure get into the background of this, but please continue.
No, definitely. But yeah, my journey started about the age of 7. I started playing piano, getting into music.
So you really musically inclined. I didn't know you played the piano.
No, facts.
I thought you was just a rapping ass.
No, I ain't just a rapping ass nigga. No, facts. I started playing piano. My mom put me in piano lessons. And then around the same time, like 5th grade, 4th grade, I started playing trumpet. And I played in the band from about...
I was just about to ask, was you in band?
Yep, from about 4th
where you go
to
to school
7th.
out here?
I went to school in Melvindale.
Okay.
Yep.
That's where, so that's where one of my exes
I know you got history.
Yeah, I'm about to say my people from Southwest Detroit anyway. So
no facts.
I'm about to say, so I was guaranteed to end up dealing with a girl from out that way anyway. So you was in the band. Crazy. I was in performing arts, and I used to mess around with the piano and stuff. Do you got any music with you playing that piano?
I have like clips. I haven't created an album yet because I just been more so focused on the producing. But I do plan on making an album with just all piano.
Bro, you could be out here. You could be the next Zay, bro. Because I know what your music be like, and I didn't even know that you be doing that level of music. But nah, that's crazy. And I know even on the authoring component, what was the mindset behind you making this particular book? And is this your first book?
That is my second book. This is my first.
Even still, congratulations.
Thank you. This is my first actual book, like physical copy. The first book that I made was actually just an ebook on the Maui fire thing. It was more like me just documenting the situation that happened, and I kind of made that real quick. This more so was like, all right, this is my actual first book that I really want to work on that's genuinely for me. And the idea behind this book was when I first got on my spiritual journey and learning all this information about the third eye, the chakras, all of these things.
Oh, let's talk about it.
Man.
We know that's a weird-ass ride.
Man. So, just in my whole journey of understanding, different concepts, learning about Dr. Sebi, learning about health and food, it's so many things that you can get caught up and get lost in and just going down a rabbit hole. So I'm like, I'm going to create a guide for people who just are entering spirituality so that they can have a basic foundation of spirituality and science, not just, the spiritual stuff.
No, that is well needed because like people don't know what it is to, and I be telling people, I'll be warning people. Even like I remember when people was coming into the sovereign mindset, the sovereign citizen mindset, understanding what uniform commercial codes is, and you got certain freedoms that you may not be, or that you may be transferring for privileges and shit. You feel me? Just through contractual obligations. So when people start to realize, in their mind, when you start getting this epiphany that, the United States is scamming me, that people initially, they come into a realization, they get angry, and then there's levels of acceptance, and then you get a level of effort, and then you be like, all right, I'm going to do something about it. People got to go through all of them stages.
Facts.
All of us go through all of them stages. And the faster you can get through them stages, the better. And it's a lot easier if you got some guidance. So you even making a blueprint just for how people to weather that stupid-ass storm. It's crazy.
Bruh. Crazy-ass storm.
That's stuff you come across just like, speaking about it, like, my start, it was so crazy because somebody asked me about Brother Polite the other day because they was like, what happened to him? They was like, you used to like Brother Polite. I'm like, I liked Brother Polite information. I didn't know him as an individual. So it's at that time, these things wasn't being presented. So when we had 125th Sonetta, and then shout out to Inky because like I'm really good friends with Dr. Inky. And he has always been a consistent individual. I always shout him out whenever I get the chance because he is like a single parent. That man take care of almost like 8-10 kids by himself, bro. And he teach them the science. He teach them the health. He making sure that he raising young men, young ladies, and he do his best. And I'm like, that's what we look to have within our community. So he really out here doing the work. And then he teaching all these people in the world, fam. So even knowing that you've had some interaction with the 125th community. So you want to talk about that? What was your experience like that? Did you ever been up to Harlem 125?
No.
Okay. So for anybody who don't know, bro, actually you got some you being an artist and stuff, you had a few projects with Young Pharaoh, right?
Yes. Yeah.
So what was that interaction like?
Man, it was a crazy interaction, man. Like me and YP, we had a lot of fun, bro. We built.
It's like you linked up with bro when he was at his peak.
No, facts. And we was just building. We had actually met down here in Detroit at one of his lectures. I had pulled up on him, and we got to playing music back to back for each other. And from there, it was up. It was like, all right, we about to make some music. He gonna send me a track. I'm gonna send him a track. We go back and forth. Next thing you know, I'm engineering for him, producing for him. We working together. We building. Man, we had a good time. Like, we was really, taking off with shit. But that whole situation that just happened was just like, it's crazy and it's so fucked up, bro. Because like, that was bro. It was just crazy, bro. To be talking to somebody every day, be building with somebody every day, and then some shit like that happen, and still not even know what really happened with that whole shit. Like,
yeah, that shit is crazy when you say it like that.
It is, because, like, the person that y'all see him today is not the nigga that I knew. You know what I'm saying? Like, I talk to this nigga every day. Like, every day. Nigga.
And this is like, and I respect, bro, and the fact, and then this is also something I want to say. You gotta love this journey because of the experiences we get. And I tell people, like, I get to live a rap lifestyle off book shit, bro. And, like, just being able to come in contact with people, like, bro, getting them experiences, being able to get that work, come in contact with more people, just, like, even popping out at lectures and networking. Like, it's better than sitting in a goddamn house, bro. Like, for real.
Man, what?
And even just, like, the situation, you can tell at one point he had a transition. And I had to catch myself, because you gotta, when you get into these positions where people know you and you have the ability to speak, control rooms and shit like that, anything can adjust your mindset, bro. Let it be a woman, let it be a bad blunt, let it be some alcohol, just making the wrong decisions, coming in contact with law enforcement. So you really got to be guarded and protected the entire time. And the crazy thing is, like, one thing I can genuinely say about bro, like, he love fucking teaching. So when you got that heart and you got that in you, you be really passionate about stuff. You never know where the enemy gonna come from. And you never know the angle is gonna come and attack you at. So I just really feel like I pray that bro get that shit together, because after that Tasha K shit, it was up, bro. And I just really, like,
it's scary, man, because like, the whole situation, like, even me being as close with YP as I was, I still don't know what fully happened. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, it was so much shit going on in that time frame, and it was just a build up. A lot of the situation is still kind of touchy, but so I won't go too deep into detail about it. But I hope bro get better. I wish the best for him. Like, no matter what's going on between me and bro, like, I wish that nigga the best and his family. Like,
for sure. It's so much crazy shit going on. We got a goddamn circus for the election. Like, who knows what's about to happen with our economy. So, like, we really don't got the energy to be out here, wishing ill will on people, bro. Like, we got a crazy, like, the United States ain't never been like this as long as we've been living.
That's one thing that I do want to say about that whole situation, too. One thing that I didn't like about the community is the fact that, like, how many niggas tried to tear him down after that. Like, it was niggas who had whole YouTube pages created that never made YouTube videos a day in their life.
You gotta understand, first off, 48 laws of power. All publicity is good publicity. So bro was for sure getting benefit from all of that because he was creating more traction. But it's just how you spin it when you know better, because it's all about perception. But also, people will look for any angle to get likes and love, bro, out here. At the destruction of you and your family. They don't give a damn, bro. They know that it's checks attached to views. So that's their main goal. They trying to get a bag because they see P getting the bag. And all I know is if I can expose or if I can capitalize on this one moment before anybody else, when they go search this per the algorithm, my shit is going to be watched first. That's the game.
No,
it's
facts.
Actually journalism. And it's just journalism is on such a wide scale right now. Everybody can be a newscaster today. Everybody can be a podcaster.
No, facts. I just want motherfuckers to realize, like, when these leaders fall, it's like you got to be able to point back at the supporters, too. And you got to, as a supporter, you have to reflect to yourself because this is a person that you chose to put in this position.
No, that's valid.
And when you see a leader fall, it's not a time to point at the leader. It's a time to reflect on yourself, too. And that's where I feel like that's where I feel like the community let down. You know what I'm saying? Like,
You asking for unaccountable people to be accountable, though.
no, I'm not asking for unaccountable people to be accountable. I'm just asking for the community to, when they see our brothers falling, like, especially in times like that where ain't no telling what could have happened, that we be more concerned as opposed to being the first person to go make a video trying to destroy. You know what I'm saying? Like, I get it. I know people doing it for the money and stuff like that, but it's like, as a community, for us, we got to start checking up on each other for real. Like,
Yeah, that's especially for melanated men. Like, we don't have, and before we even get into that conversation, when it comes to the position of power thing, I always tell people, I'm like, I'm not your Christ. I'm not your Jesus. I'm like, don't put me on no pedestal, because I'm going to be me. I'm going to be DJ all day, every day. I'm going to smoke weed. I'm going to cuss. I'm going to have attitudes. I'm like, I'm a polygynist. I'm with multiple women. So I'm like, in your mind, I may be a sinner, and that's fine with me. But don't ever create a situation that I'm not in your mind, because you shouldn't be able to say that I let you down. That's only something that people create in their mindset, because how did I even get in a position to where you held me to such a high regard?
no, facts. That is another, I think that's another issue too, is the idolization. Like, you can't hold anyone higher than yourself.
And if people really truly see themselves as equals, it's really just a matter of respecting. You respect what I do, I respect who you are and what you need from me, and we find some level of reciprocity. And then, like, it's give and take, it's barter, and that shit equal. I'm like, ain't really nobody over another, and you feel me?
No, facts.
But people have to understand where the level of value is and what it is that they're doing. It's a simple energy exchange, and we got to just learn more. But back to the melanated men, we don't. I said this on the video. I had a terrible fucking video title. I was like, "Where your daddy at?" And it was like pretty much the aspect of men who operate
That's a good click title for sure.
And then this also, I shout out to Caribou from she formerly a Concrete Boys, because she actually got a song with them called "Where Your Daddy At," and it's so funny because I was playing the audio in the background, but understanding that us as melanated men, some of us lack that level of emotional stability in order for us to communicate properly, and the first thing we want to do is go crash out. And that's really because we wasn't conditioned on how to, like, properly communicate. My 3-year-old communicate better than a lot of adults. He will sit there and tell me, he is like, "Dad, that is frustrating me. I'm getting angry." And I'm like, okay, I respect that. Versus, you want to go punch somebody, go kick somebody, go grab a gun. We clearly lack emotional intelligence, even to the point where if we do have a more emotionally sound community, which is our females, we actually need them to be willing to check on us, and we have to figure out where the level of comfort we are with that, because one thing we don't have is a lot of trust with melanated women in our community. And that's because if you really, like, this is valid. If you can fight in some melanated women, the moment y'all get into it, shorty gonna dig that shit up and use it against your ass every time, bro. So that creates a level of distrust with being vulnerable within our community. So we need some level of repair. And, like, how do you even get to a position? You've been in a relationship for how long y'all been together?
10 years.
I'm like, I'll be married 10 years this year. So, like, that's why I'm like, you get it, because you have to have a level of trust when you're committed to somebody that long and willing to have a child with somebody. You feel me?
Facts.
So, yeah, because, like, people have babies with people they don't trust, don't get me wrong,
Man.
and they end up regretting that shit the long way.
It's crazy because, like, in a relationship, like, 10 years is really kind of young. Like, when you really been in a relationship and you get to know a person, like, when you think about it, like, you can't even learn a third of somebody in 3 years.
Hell no.
You know what I'm saying?
The 3-year mark is the rough mark in most relationships. And getting over that 3-year hurdle was different, because even living with people, you start to learn. And then when it's crazy how long a motherfucker keep a representative up. Like, for real. Like, man. I just, like, even myself, I'm like, I do my best to, present myself as I am, but, just when you're uncomfortable in certain situations because people are new to you, there aren't things that you have to get comfortable with them in order to start actually revealing some of these things. And that shit takes time. And for some people, it may be 2-3 years.
No, for real.
I might say, I know girls who still on fart in the bed. You feel me? Thank you.
No, no, for real. And it's crazy because it's like you said, it take a couple of years for it may take a couple of years just for you to see a certain side of somebody, but then it take even more to start realizing more things about them, or for them to open up and tell you and express certain things. Like, not only are you developing yourself in this relationship, you're also trying to look at your partner's weaknesses and make them strengths. That's what I feel like y'all there for, is to be reflections of each other, to be like, this is where you can improve at, where can I improve at? And then learning how we create this as a whole. Like, we got me, we got to work on, we got you got to work on, and then we got us, we got to work on as a whole, as a unit.
One of the greatest unifying points in my relationship that helped me to understand better who I was so I can be better as a partner was me actually figuring out what the hell a natal chart was. Because people don't realize a lot of time they're literally working against their divine order based on what the spiritual science of what you were created divinely for. You have an alignment in this world that you can work in or either work against. And I was working against mine in some components. And then once I got right, everything just got better.
It started to flow better.
But even I had to communicate it. And like I said this before, one of the main things that came up in my natal chart that I was fighting against was monogamy. Because, like, I didn't understand why, but apparently this shit is in my, like, I have multiple grandparents who were in, like, polygynous relationships and everything. So I had to be able to communicate this to my partner, and per us having an arrangement and an agreement, we understood that we were able to find some common ground and work on ways that it can work in our relationship. But if I didn't look into my, like, that spiritual walk was necessary because it's people who would shun that stuff. But just by me having this level of information about myself that was hidden to me just because I didn't have access to a particular, like, set of teachings. So even, like, with some of the things that you come into, would you consider yourself more of a mindset restructurer, or would this more so be, like, for spiritual alignment?
This book?
Yeah.
Both. More set mindset restructure. Like, I'm double R, so I play on the 2 energy a lot and just the double side of things. So that is, like, I feel like you nailed it, like when you said spiritual alignment and mindset, because the book starts, that's what the first part of the book is about, is reshaping your mind. It's the reshaping the mind, reshaping the body, and reshaping the spirit. Them is the 3 parts of the books. So the first part of the book, I'm just letting you know what to prepare your mind for mentally, understanding how going down your journey can feel lonely, or, to start the things that you start to feel. You know what I'm saying?
We must be on the same frequency, because I'm literally over here thinking, like, yup, because I just had to shed a lot of people who I used to kick it with, fam. I say this because one of my favorite old European people to watch online, bro, he's so mean. Dan Pena, he be like, show me your friends, I'll show you your future. Fucking idiot. Bro, he be snapping, bro. But what he said is valid. Show me your friends, I'll show you your future. If I'm not around people who have the same desires as me, who have the same discipline as me, low-key, I am bringing myself down. So we got to be mindful of that type of stuff, because, like how you said, it may be a lonely journey. And you got to be willing to go into solitude. Shit, look at Superman. That man was always in a fortress of solitude, bro, working, getting everything in order. So you understand that it's a level of sacrifice that you cannot escape if you want to be great.
No, facts. Yeah, and just like I said, when I went down my journey, I didn't know that I was going to encounter these things. And you don't realize that until 5, 6, 7 years after, and you like, damn. It wasn't that people were making fun of me, they just didn't understand me. Or,
no, they was making fun of us.
They was,
but this shit wasn't like,
but look,
it wasn't fly 10 years ago.
But look, your perspective of, when I say ignorance, I mean it in its true definition. Yeah. They ignorance, when you grow, you kind of realize, like, damn, I feel bad that y'all can't understand it the way that I think it. I feel bad that y'all think that it's funny.
Bliss.
It is.
Like, bro, you really, and it said in a word to it, like, forgive them because they know not what they do. I'm like, these people are truly ignorant to the world around them, and it's just mainly because they have limited resources, or it's people who have told me out their own mouth, like, I don't want to know. I refuse to know.
Yeah,
They're
no, yeah.
comfortable with where they're at in life, and that's
Absolutely, and
painful.
that's one of the things that I go over in my book too. Just talking about like understanding, you can't lead a horse to the water. I mean, you can lead a horse to the water, you can't make him drink it. And just when you enter this path of understanding this information, everybody's not interested in it. Like you said, not everybody wants to know how to heal themselves or the type of water they should drink or what their chakras are. Some people just don't care, and you got to be ready for that going
How
into
you feel
it.
about Inky going hard on the chakra talk, bro?
Who is Inky?
Dr. Inky, he was.
I've heard of his name.
Yeah,
but
I'm about to say, bro, he live out here now, but back in the day, he was. It's so crazy because he left that community early and he just started doing his own thing. But you familiar with KT? KT, the art degree? Sabi, that's one of Sabi's stepsons. KT got the afro. But
I've heard of him.
KT and Inky, they used to run with each other, but big in the health community, right? So he actually went on a rant saying that chakra's not real, all of this, but it's just, I always like to know, not to create any discord or anything, but I always like to know opposing perspectives for somebody who actually speaks on it, why they feel that this is imperative for people to know versus this pretty much medical practitioner who says F that. And he's he's in tune, like he's a Mason, like he been around the conscious community from New York teachings to all of it. So he know. It's just as to why he desires not to partake in that particular science right now, I'm not sure.
No, absolutely. What leads me more so in that direction is the fact that what I've seen with the auras, them using electrophotonic imaging to show the different colors that the body produces, the electromagnetic field around the body, the colors that changes when you are actually experiencing different emotions. So I can't think of the man's name.
Like a mood ring.
Off the top of my head. Sort of like a mood ring, but they're using a device that has electricity flowing through it. So you put a screen of paper over it, you put your finger on top of it, and the electricity goes through the plate and it amplifies the light around your body in the same way that a microphone amplifies our voice. So it gets to a point, they amplify it to a point to where you can see the actual color of the field around. So normally a person's body will be blue, the aura that is emitted. And you can actually see this in real time. So they'll have somebody put their finger in hot water, and then the aura will change to the color orange. They'll have two people kiss each other, and their aura will change like pinkish and red. So all of these things, and they'll have them drink alcohol, their auras will start to turn orange and yellow, and we know like that how the colors and stuff affect the body, like being in a blue room, how that can affect the energy.
Even in marketing, the color science, because you said yellow is a color that we see in a lot of restaurants, from Taco Bell, Burger King, McDonald's, and even blue wealth, and we see that in a lot of banking. So
exactly,
yeah, like color, there's a science to colors.
There's definitely a science to color, and they even showing people who are drinking, and they're using this in the medical field. Like they're already using these things in the medical field. They're showing the illness in the energy field before it even shows up in the body, and they're showing that. Like, for example, you know how acupuncture works. You know that every part of your body is connected to every other part of your body.
Yeah, I actually just got these acupuncture piercings, too. Shit hurt like hell, boy.
Sweet, though.
But the crazy thing is, I had a lower lumbar injury, well, several. I've been hitting the back with a minivan. My cousin drove it to my back with a Pontiac Montana. I was hitting the ribs with an Explorer. I was ejected from a car going 107. And they almost totaled my car like a year or so ago. I got rear-ended. So this is probably one of the best things that I did because it's consistently helped with the chronic pain, outside of smoking cannabis, of course.
No, that makes sense.
Acupuncture is great. Even when I wanted to stop smoking, I would just go. There's literally a spot right up the street from, not too far from here. I think like Ford Road and Wayne or something.
Facts. And the acupuncture is based off of the chakra system and the chakra points throughout the body. So we know that our body, we know that we're made of energy.
The flow of energy, pressure points, acupuncture, bro. Like even when we redirect energy to people.
This is what's so crazy is, and I can understand why, you know, it is hard to believe because it's hard to find a lot of information on it. Like the information that I had to find about the auras, is what I had to find some of this information from the Russians. Like they had textbooks that was in Russian. I used AI to convert it to English, but I was learning through their studies about this stuff because they're not even talking about it in America.
How does that make you feel? For us to be so-called one of the leading countries, but you're limited to information that you know has to be present here because there's no way in hell the United States is going to actually allow people to one-up them on any form of information that they're knowledgeable about.
I feel like that's what America is. I feel like that is the basis of America. Like, how do we prevent niggas from knowing shit they should know? Like, that is that. Like,
one of my favorite questions about that is just not.
But look, well, not to cut you off. But look, hold on. In my oral presentation, the videos that I'm showing where they demonstrating this is from the 90s, bro, and from the 80s. The technology they using this at the border. They using this at the border to determine whether the people that are coming through are good or not. Like the military is using this in different countries to be able to scan people's aura, and it'll be able, like, it'll show their energy and they'll determine it. And the people that they bring in, that person might be like, they might have schizophrenia or something like that, or it might have been a murder or something. And it's like a 70 to 80% rate, success rate. So it's crazy, bro.
Yeah, even I know over in Asia, they request people's blood types on their job applications because they want to know like your personality type and like what you're susceptible to, so they know how to place you. So it's a lot of research being done on people. But back to the United States not being transparent about information when it's citizens. One of my favorite things to just like, even with the world and within itself, why is it so many distinctions between the type of maps we have, the, you know, satellite imagery, NASA, like that shit shouldn't even be up for question, bro. Like, why don't we? That is one of the, I'm like, why are we getting taught a disconnect even from some of the biblical teachings versus what we're being taught in school? So, and even what some of our ancestors and some of our tribes say, none of this shit aligns with what the United States is saying. So, once again, you ask the question, what is the benefit of you hiding this type of information from me? Like, why? And it's like, you really can't be mad at people who desire to do better, like, and like end up going down these rabbit holes because there's clearly a veil that's in place. Because
in your mind, body, and spirit, you know subconsciously that some shit is not right. It's like in the Matrix when he was like, you can't taste it, you can't smell it, but you can feel it. Like, you know something is up, and the more that you go, the shit just start making sense. And then the further you go down, everything start connecting, and you like, wow, okay, it's all starting to make sense. But it starts coming together, but it still don't. It starts getting clear, but it still don't make sense because you be like, why? And the only way you know is if you then like, why would you do this? Right. I'm like, but you gotta respect the game because you like, y'all are so strategic, and you like, a winner respects a winner, and I'm like, they're winning, bro. They have all the power, all the control. They have everybody brainwashed, fam. So it's just like, you can hate it, or you can get a level of understanding and learn how to play the game to win. That's all you can do.
Because like people, like I said, they go through them stages that it take people way longer than it needs to for them to get out that hate stage. Mm-hmm. Like, I hate white man. I hate the United States. Good luck with that, homie. Good luck with that. Man, what? I'm telling you, that was fine in my early 20s, but when you start having children and you start creating debt, and you start wanting to acquire wealth, you learn that you have to learn commerce and you got to actually do some business. And most of these people who you dislike control a large portion of the commerce. So you're going to have to chuck that shit up, fam, or either you're going to die broke. Really, that's what's going to happen. Ain't really no in-betweens on that. And, like, what was that transition like for you? Did you ever go through that, I don't like other nations or nationalities of people.
I never went through that because I've always had friends of different races, like
Especially growing up here.
Like I went to school in Melvindale, so we had black kids, white kids, Mexican kids, Arab kids. Like I ran into a homie that I went to school with like maybe 3 years ago, and we was at the gym, and he was like, bro, he was like we was cool, but we didn't really talk like that much. But he was like, bro, he was like, I never knew what racism was until we left school. And I'm like, I felt him on that because I got, like, not saying that I never understood racism,
real too.
but the way that he told me, I understood where he was coming from because I knew where we came from. And I knew how it was 25, 25, 25, 25.
I went to school in the South. I went to school in the South, and like the craziest thing is, I did not have any racist experiences while I was actually in school. Everything that, and I don't even partake in racism. I feel like that's a mindset or ideology that you kind of have to accept because I don't have any oppressors. Like, if you want to disrespect me, I can disrespect you back. That's more so what it is, because I'm like, in my mind, like, I have enough, financial control that I could be racist. So it takes money to be racist.
No facts.
You can discriminate, but racism comes with power and control.
That's a whole nother thing.
So I honestly don't feel like people are controlling my life to that component to be racist with me personally. But I do understand there may be racist acts happening out in the world. But for me personally, I'm thankful. I grew up on a military base. People can't act like that. Like, they get it in going up in protocol, but not in school, anything. Like, bro, I grew up on, like, federal property. It exists on the reservations. There's colorism. Like, on the res, a lot of people believe lighter is righter, white is right. So it was always favorable. If you were, like, my complexion or darker, you may have problems, depending on your reservation. But this shit is encoded in us for some whatever our reason.
And it's crazy too, because I feel like when you really think about it, no matter what race you look at, there's always a light and dark spectrum. Like, even in the Arabs,
Asians,
even in the Asians, like
Australians,
blacks, like
Mexicans, Brazilians.
It's that in every race.
Probably just not European. It's some.
I feel like it's more ethnical with them.
Yeah, because
like, when I'm
thinking about Canadians and stuff. I'm like, I done seen some dark Irish. The Twa people, that's Ireland. That's where the leprechaun stories come from. So it's dark skinned Irish, but that's way, way back then. But so, real quick, where can we find some of your projects at? And like, you got websites for the book and socials and stuff too?
Yes. So you can put it on the screen. It's legacytowave.net. That's legaseathewav.net. You can find my book there. You can find my lectures there. You can find lessons on there. You can find all of my music on Spotify, Apple Music, all the streaming platforms, YouTube as well. I've been dropping a lot of singles. I'm not gonna drop an album just yet. Like, I've been waiting on the album for a minute, but like, this next album gotta be fucking great.
I just said I'm about to buy a beat machine just because I want to make like Jersey house music, bro. That's all I want to do. I don't want to rap. I just want to mix shit. That's all I want to do.
No, I feel that.
All right, I'm just trying to have parties in the living room, bro. That's all.
That'd be lit.
Yeah. So, we have been having recent conversations before we close out. It's just a lot of people may not know that you present yourself to be very bright because you talk about health and wealth and things along that lines. But you've been recently studying, and not even recently, you have been for years, from what I'm understanding, like Uniform Commercial Code, couponing, aspects of contract law and things. What has that been like for you? And based on some of the things you've seen, can you let the community know, anybody who's watching this, is it more fact or is it more fiction?
It's definitely fact, bro. It's anybody who thinking it's fiction out there, y'all need to pick up a book. Like, it's crazy, bro. Like, what's really even crazy about me getting into all of that in the first place was actually how I started my TikTok journey. Like, when I hit 350,000, followers on TikTok, I was breaking down words and didn't even know what I was doing at the time. Like,
you was doing etymology?
Yes, I was doing like good morning, hello, you know, just the bank, the currency, all of that stuff, and just breaking that down, not even knowing where it was gonna lead to. And then I got banned, went back up.
What you get banned for?
Bro, for breaking down words.
For real?
Bro, all my videos was of me breaking down words on the whiteboard.
They must have said
posting
you
no
must have
music.
broke community guidelines for saying you probably said something like queen.
I wasn't cussing on nothing. I wasn't saying, bro, I was breaking down goodbye, hello, just spelling it out. And they banned my shit.
TikTok, you got to be stopped. We're over you. Y'all can go back.
Rebuilt my page again to about 230K. They banned it
I'm about
again.
to say, I remember you said you got banned again.
Sick. So now I'm rebuilding back from scratch. My shit at about 12K right now.
That's
but
crazy.
I'm like, that's when I was just like, yeah, that's crazy. But that's how the whole journey started, like starting to get deeper and deeper into that. But no, it's definitely real, bro. I think that everybody need to take the time and just start studying the law, pick up a Black's Law dictionary and just start looking at some of the words, start actually looking into some of these codes. When I first knew it was real, like even as you learning it and you seeing the codes for yourself, because it's different when you reading the law for yourself.
Did you know I was teaching this when I was doing karate?
I didn't.
Yeah, I'm about to say, because we walking literally right past each other in the hallway, and I'm doing lectures out here in the D, bro.
During that time, I wasn't even hip to it like that. I may have seen a couple of videos talking about maritime, just that was in my journey, my early journey. So that's when I was getting all the knowledge, like I didn't know what to do with it. But yeah, like starting to look at the codes and actually seeing the laws for yourself and seeing that that's what it actually say, like, oh, this ain't somebody just making the shit up. But I went to my homeboy Mikael, shout out to him, the juice man. He be making crazy teas and juice, so make sure y'all tap in with him. He's actually involved into this, and I met him through my brother Cash the barber. Shout out to him. Go check him out. I met him through him, and he linked us up because he knew I was involved with it. So he was like, I got a court case coming up. He was like, you should come to it. I'm like, hell yeah. So he told me when
that's how you know you really committed, because motherfuckers is scared of court. Like, bro, you really gotta go. You gotta go sit in on some court.
You do.
Like, you do. You are not. You gotta committed.
See it for yourself. You gotta see how the process worked. So I went up to the court case. We sitting down in the lobby. He hadn't even got there yet. So I'm like, yeah, I'm here for a jury trial. And she like, the security lady, she like, it ain't no jury trial. She was like, ain't no jury here today. And I'm like, okay. So I'm waiting on bro to come in. He come in, he asking the lady, he like, yeah, I got a jury trial today. She like, yeah, it's no jury here. He like, so what's going on? She like, well, she's like, I don't know. We gonna send you up there and the clerk gonna talk to you.
Oh, he sent in some paperwork.
Yeah,
he said you gonna be one of them last people today.
Listen, I drove up there with him. First of all, the reason he's at court is because he had driving with no license, suspended license.
Michigan don't play about that shit.
No license plate. But the nigga is still driving his car though. They pulled him over. He got a ticket, but they let him go.
But how he driving all the way from Saginaw like that, bro? I'm like, you crazy.
Crazy. So we in the car driving to the court. He don't got no plate, no nothing on his car. We pull up in the court parking lot, no plate on there. So now we up there sitting in the hallway, and we just waiting. But he had went to court before, and he told the lady he didn't want to enter the...
He ain't want to cross the bar.
He didn't want to cross the bar. But at the time, I don't think he used the correct term. No, he told her he didn't want to cross the bar. She tried to put him in contempt of court. Then he ended up being like, all right, well, I want a jury trial then. So they rescheduled it. So she knew what time it was. They came back. He went up. We was upstairs waiting. They had the clerk come out, right? The clerk came out, and she was like, so what's your name? And he was like, I am the beneficiary. He was like, I am the beneficiary of. She was like, so he's dead. And she was like, yeah. He was like, you know exactly what I'm talking about. She was like, she just nodded her head, but she had this crazy smirk on her face. So then she was like, do you have any identification? And so he started flipping his pages, and he had a scan of his ID. And she was like, I thought I seen a picture of an ID. He was like, no, that's a photographic representation of the beneficiary of the trust. Killed her ass. Like, she thought she had him. So,
because that's a contract with them. And they say that you want you in their jurisdiction.
Exactly. So they pretty much had sent her back out there to, try to get him caught up in his words. So then she went back, and then they called us back there. We had been sitting out in the hallway longer than the court case. We walked into court. The lady was like, we were sitting in there, and I'm just like, damn. I'm like, we actually in court for this shit. I'm looking around, like the judge, the lady on there. I'm like, this shit about to be crazy.
They usually kick all y'all ass out for shit like that.
Man. So I'm like, I'm watching. She like, such and such, driver suspended license, no license plate, prosecutor. So yeah,
all statutes. No, nobody was harmed. No actual criminal activity. Just all statute violations.
All statute violations. Yes. So she had just tried to ask him to introduce himself. Like, what's your name? I'm the beneficiary. Or no, he said first, middle, last, hyphen, colon type shit. Said it properly. She tried, sir, just hurry up. You're making this longer than it has to be. Trying to cut him through. He made sure he said it anyway without prejudice. Then she proceeded to say to court, driving no license suspended. Then the prosecutor, he like, yeah, so the witness isn't here today. The police officer went on vacation. So he's out on vacation right now.
Drop this shit.
He was like, so I'm assuming because the witness isn't here, you're going to drop the case. And she was like, so no witness, yada, 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 case dismissed. And then I'm like, case dismissed. We was in there 3 minutes, bro. And when we left out of there, I'm like, I couldn't even believe what the fuck I just saw. I'm like, if I hadn't been here, I probably wouldn't have believed this shit. But the fact that I just seen it and we driving out of here again with no license plate and suspended license, like what the fuck? That's when I knew it was real. Like it was no going back from that. I'm like, okay. And then just, getting further into it, looking into different people, tapping in with you, you know what I'm saying? You done gave me a lot of game, helped me clear out a lot of shit. If y'all don't know, tap in with this nigga because he trusts fun, baby, for real. For real.
Bro, I most definitely appreciate that. And one thing I could tell people whenever they do go down this journey, like, be willing to sue people who try you, fam. That's one of the best pieces of information I can give you. I'm suing niggas right now. Like, right now. Multiple people. And they owe me Brit, and you think I'm not going to get it? I'm getting that plus some just because they had to make me go through the stress of creating paperwork for it.
Man, so, exactly.
And I'm talking
certified mail.
I'm talking about bans. I'm putting liens on people, businesses, in order for me to get what I want. So I'm like, oh, you think that you're not going to pay me? It's a benefit in learning all this paperwork stuff, I'm telling you.
No, for real.
Because I don't argue with people. I'm not tussling nobody in the street. I do my best not to ever have to draw down on nobody. And all you're going to do is you're going to get some stuff in the mail and you're going to be mad about it. But I guarantee you, if you don't handle that business, you're going to be in court. You're going to be in court.
Default judgment.
I'm telling you, you think you get to ignore these letters if you want to, fam. You're going to see what happened. You're going to be getting your bank accounts garnished.
It's that tacit consent, boy.
And that is one of the best things I learned. Like, really, they say it, but until you really understand how to fight on paper, bro, because they tell you all the power is in the pen. Like, I'm third-degry black belt. I have a world record in breaking bricks. I'm much stronger on paper, fam.
Hey, nigga be printing up them papers feeling like God.
Like, yeah, I got them.
Turn that printer on.
Like, you barbecue, boy. Barbecue.
Oh, God, bro. No, for real. Like, everything that niggas hate in life, like, why am I working this job? Why do I have to do it? Learn the law. Go read the UCC. Go read the Uniform Commercial Code. If you feel like, why am I working a job? Why am I paying for shit? Go read the Uniform Commercial Code.
I can tell you 2 laws that should change your perspective on life really quick. Well, actually, court case, what Murdoch versus Penn, somebody just shared it on Facebook. Great court case. It literally says that you cannot convert a right into a privilege and attach a fee to it. So that includes paying for a driver's license. That includes paying for a firearms license. This is a court ruling. On top of constitutionally, child support is illegal if you understand the United States Constitution because the Social Security Administration operates as a whole separate entity, which violates the separation of powers, being the legislative, judicial, and executive branch. You should have paid attention in civics. God damn it. English. class. For real, because elementary was imperative, so was middle school. Like, they really gave you the game and you just overlooked it, even when it came to economics and how you do commerce. And what was the other one? It was Murdoch versus Penn. Oh, and the United States assumes the responsibility for all debts. So,
and HJR Resolution 192, Public Law 73-10, boy.
It's not, this is all documented black and white things that I know people who leverage on an everyday basis. I know people, and he knows some of the same people. I've introduced them to their platforms who literally do not pay anything out of their pockets in order to handle their bills every month. Through understanding how the United States Treasury works, negotiable instruments, couponing, and just reading a payment agreement. Because it say in the payment agreement, you got to send in the coupon. So it's like, don't argue with me. Argue with the paper, fam.
No.
Argue with the paper.
For real.
Oh, bro. But, like, anything you want to lead the people with?
Man, hey, y'all go tap in with my music. Make sure y'all grab this book, Just Waking Up, the Spiritual God Book. It's out now. It's on Amazon. You can find it on my website. The link is in my bio. Follow me on all platforms, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok at Double R to God. That's 2 R's, THEGOD. Yeah, tap in with me, y'all.
Yeah, and you already know this has been another great episode of Trust My Baby podcast, and it was a pleasure having you on, bro.
Yes, sir. My brother.
Oh, you coming back for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Because we want a whole book breakdown.
Oh, bet.
Actually, I might say we might as well just do a segment. I'm like, he gonna be reoccurring. We gonna work that out. Until next time, y'all. Peace.